Good morning, everybody. It is April 6th, 8:26 a.m. Hope everybody's having a good day. Um, had a decent day yesterday. Um, so here I am. Sorry, I'm like a minute late. Still taking care of my daughter. So, um, trying to make this channel a little more professional here. And let's give it a quick, different, fresh coat of paint today with certain effects that I'm going to run with some graphics or whatever. So, um, quick quick thing here. I never really introduced my name. My name's Steven Gonzalez. I've been trading for about almost 5 years, specifically using market profile and volume profile. You can see right here, I'm a volume profile and market profile aficionado. That's how I look at the market. I use that every day to do our trade plans. So, um, and I've over the years had some mentors, and I'll give them some shout outs. Josh Schuler from Trade with Profile, learned a lot from him. Peter Resnick from Shadow Trader, learned a lot from him. Future Trader 71, learned a lot from him. Okay, so those guys are profile guys, market profile, volume profile. So that's a lot of where I come up with my game plans. Uh, that's where they come from. So now I put my own twist on things, how I would I like to see the market, which everybody should do, right? So let's get into the watch list. Um, so let's move over to the watch lists. Give me one sec while we get over there. So so let's look at the stocks and futures watch list. And let's see what we have going this morning with some of the readings here. So the VIX is up 2.62%. Silver is slightly up. Russell's up 0.22. The bonds, 30-year bonds, being bought. Crude is basically flat. Dollar's flat. Dow's flat. We have jobless claims coming up at 8:30, so that's important. I will go over to that shortly. Um, ES is slightly down. Gold slightly down. Nasdaq is down 0.3. That's the weaker of the bunch. 10-year yields down 0.64. Bitcoin down 1%. Ether down 2.34. All right. Let's look at some top sector stocks here. Google up 0.9. Baba's up 0.76. Laggards, we have Netflix down 0.76. Tesla's down 1.14. Tesla's getting slammed lately. Coins down 1.32. Now, coins something I'm looking at, breaking last week's lows, so that's very important to look at. What else do we have? We have top sectors. No leader to really speak of. JP Morgan's barely up. However, Costco's getting hammered, down 2.64. AbbVie just gave a bad some type of guidance, so they're down 0.98. And we can look at the sectors. The only thing to speak of, really, not much to speak of here. We got technologies at the bottom, but it's only down 0.25, and utilities. That's one thing. Utilities, defensive stocks are being bought up. Utilities and healthcare, so they're on the rise. So this could be the end of the tech stock run. Not sure. Really not sure. Um, let's go over to some of the news, the economic calendar, because that jobless claims is coming out. So let's get some market news here. So jobless claims should be dropping. Should have dropped already. I don't know. It should be updating live. Come on. I probably already got the result already. Alright. So I got it from another source. So it looks like estimated 200K, 220K. 228. So 228. Let me refresh this. I don't know why it's not. There it is. So more people, initial jobless claims. This could be bullish for the market. I mean, the Fed's raising rates are working. It's getting what they want happening. So that could be bullish. We can look at the market together just to see if that what kind of bump that did. Give me 1 second here. I'm honestly not seeing much of a bump, to be honest with you. Not seeing that much movement really. A little bit now, but very, very minimal movement. That could change. That could change. I'm gonna hit you with the watch list real quick while I'm gonna set up the get into the daily charts. All right. Let's look at some daily charts. Alrighty. Let's look what the SPY did yesterday, right? So we came down almost to the 405 level. Could say that the 9 EMA daily kind of supportive, 405 kind of supportive, right? Kind of came down low, kind of got bought back up at the end, had almost like a doji, right? Now, why is that the SPY, right? Well, financials and healthcare were strong yesterday. Okay, United Healthcare went crazy, and Johnson & Johnson pre-market went crazy. So that's why the SPY ES wasn't as weak. Okay, so just the opposite of what's been happening lately. Like tech was running up, right, and the financials were so weak, but the Nasdaq 100 doesn't have any really financials in it, so it kept moving. However, this benefited the SPY and ES yesterday. Okay, that's why the ES wasn't as weak. Okay, that's why. All right, so that's that. All right, so let's look at the Qs. Good morning there, Chief. I didn't see your message. I had my doc, but now I see it. Good morning, Chief. Look, what are we doing here? Oh yeah, Qs. My bad. So look what the Qs did, right? There's that 314 level. That's the monster resistance level we broke out of, right? Hit up 320, but look, we came down right to the 314.56 level, right to the 90 EMA daily. Got bought up a little bit, right? Right now, where are we? 314.83. We're right hanging around this level. Okay, hanging around that level. Let's look at the Dow. Remember, Dow had United Healthcare. It's the largest holding. So that actually had this white candles are green candles. So what happened here? Right to the 100-day moving average. Found support there. Closed here, right? What's the Dow doing now? It's flat. Right at the close. Okay. So still have this key level up here, 336. All right. You break that, you probably go to 343. Okay, but obviously 100-day moving average acting as support. Look at the Russell. Russell's obviously the weakest of the bunch. Came down here. Didn't quite come down to this level, the 171.21, but still under the 20 simple moving average and the 9 EMA daily. All right, so this financial sector is yesterday it was up, but at that Jamie Dimon saying that there's a lot of they're looking at recession, all this stuff is really hard for financials right now. So especially regional banks, which is a lot of them are in the Russell. Okay. All right. Let's look at our triple-headed monster. And a 10-year yield. Now this is very, very interesting. What's going on in bonds? Okay, so usually when you're getting the bonds breaking this support level, okay, this means that the stocks should be going up because yields are getting lower, but it's not. So the bond market and stocks right now not in agreement. However, this could, now the bonds are the smart money, okay, this very well could be foreshadowing a move higher in stocks. You've seen this before. So the bonds are smart money, okay? These yields are getting lowered, okay? When yields are lower, that's better for equities, better for tech stocks, okay? This could be foreshadowing a move. All right? Let's look at that VIX. Now the VIX holding this support, right? 1855 tried 1 2 3. Volatility starting to creep up a little bit, okay? We're back up to 19.6. Next resistance around 20, okay? Keep an eye on the VIX. And come to the dollar, which has been the doji land. Just a bunch of dojis, crazy. Got bought up at the support of 101.42. 2 days it tried to make lows, kind of double bottomed here. Today basically up slightly, okay? So even the dollar going down is positive for equities, positive for commodities, okay? So really have to see who is the bond market foreshadowing something, right? So we have to see, right? Now let's look at my favorite market profile and bond profile, okay? All right, let's look at market profile and volume profile. Let's get into it. Okay, let's get my marker up here. Hope you're enjoying my graphics. I kind of nerded out on OBS, trying to get a little more professional look for you guys. Give me 1 second. This marker's not agreeing right now what I want to do here, so I'm going to restart it. Here we go. My apologies for that. Okay, so let's talk about it. Thanks, Colby. Gives it a nice, like, new fresh coat of paint, right? Trying to be professional, more professional. I want to build this channel. All right, so let's look at the composite profile for the week. Very balanced again. Okay, very balanced again. Most traded price is around 41.16, 41.15. All right, price right now is at 41.12. We're holding below it, right? But this profile is very balanced, right? I mentioned that yesterday. See you later, Rosita. Yep, good Friday tomorrow. No trading tomorrow. All right, so what do we got here? All right, so this is our key level again, 41.15. All right, but let's look at the current market structure, right? Okay, So here's the overnight low, overnight high. Here's yesterday's high. Here's yesterday's low. Okay. So this doesn't tell us a lot about balance. Okay. This does not give an edge. Right. This is important to see. You don't have much of an edge off the open in the ES. Okay. We don't have much of an open. We don't have much of an edge here to read. There's not like any nuance that I can be like, hey, we're 100% net long, 100% net short. That's not really something I can see right now to take advantage of off the open. So it's very balanced. Look, you can see we're right in the mid of yesterday's session. So it's very balanced. Look at this profile overnight. Very balanced. Okay. Right around the most traded price of the week and yesterday. And so this levels, you understand why this level's a magnet. You understand why this level's a magnet, right? So, and you can see we're sandwiched in between overhead supply zones, right here and here, and a demand zone here. Whenever I have these close together, even without like most traded prices right here, like I know that we're kind of in a balanced market, right? In the ES, okay. I have a different story in Nasdaq. So basically today, right? Let's look at our trade plan for today. All right, let's go with what's going to be the ES trade plan, right? Let's see what that's going to be. So let's go with more of the selling, right? The short. Okay, so basically the 41.15 level is our barometer. Okay. And we're within yesterday's range, so we have overhead supply up here, monthly VWAPs right here. Okay, so if we come up, and it's okay, off the open, this level is not as sticky off the open because the volatility is so high off the open. However, if we come up into this supply and we start to get weakness, even if we come up to yesterday's high and we start to get weakness, higher lows, lower highs, I would target yesterday's most traded price right here around 41.15. All right, hold it if you want a runner, and you go down to the demand zone here and right to the overnight low. If you still have some contracts on, or if you're in a stock, hold one for yesterday's low. All right, and depending on how much you have on, final target, you'd have to break the 9 EMA daily, but you could go down to this demand zone here. Okay, I don't know if this happens, but with a weakness that could. So that's around 40.86 to start that demand zone. Okay. Now you also have supply up here, so you could break yesterday's highs and also come up here and come down as well. Okay, so I'd be looking at in here. If you get weakness, that's your cue. You have to get the weakness though, right? Now, this level is very key, and it's going to be very hard to go through if we come up here. Okay, so what you really want is the higher probability is a quick move up here, and then you can traverse this big level, hold under it. This is the more like conservative route. If you hold under it, then you look for weakness and you can short. Okay, and just because this level is such a big level, okay, that's the tipping point for me for a bull versus bear, especially in past, like at the first half hour of the market. Okay, so let's talk about the bullish setup. So now, remember, I'm only talking about if we go through this level quickly in the beginning. Okay, the longer into the session, the more this level becomes a wall, either for the bulls or the bears. Okay, so for the bulls, what I would like to see really is a push up, even break this supply zone, and then hold this level, make some higher lows, and then you can go long. Okay, target the end of this supply, which is around 41.35. and then maybe you can go higher. Because then what's going to happen with this trade is if we hold above this level, okay, and the market starts firming up, because the Nasdaq, I'll show you in a second, has pulled back to the 90-minute daily and pulled back to a key former resistance that now could act as support, right? And what's going to happen is you're going to make, you have shorts from up here that went down to here, and then you have shorts here, right? Then you have shorts here. So that's why that trade will make those shorts have to cover their positions. If you hold above this level, take out the supply, and you make some higher lows. Okay, that's why that trade is a nice trade. Obviously, going to have the Nasdaq in agreement with that. Okay, so let's look at our Nasdaq. All right, let's look at the Nasdaq. Let's see, it's a tale of two cities here. All right, let's look at this. So we have a kind of like a double distribution profile in the Nasdaq. Okay, we have distribution here, distribution 1, distribution 2. That's the profile. Okay, that's the profile. Now, Nasdaq is weaker. Okay, tech, you had a big run. You had a big run, but like I said, money has been going into healthcare and utilities the last couple weeks. Okay, the staples, the utilities, healthcare, money's flowing into them now. So I'm not saying we can't push higher, but it seems cyclical of what's going to happen. Like, people got their money out of tech. Maybe the recession's coming. People want to get into the defensive stocks. And this could be the unwinding of some of this exuberance. Okay. But we have to see now if healthcare is super strong, utilities, that's not the Nasdaq. That strength is not going to help the Nasdaq. So again, makes the markets out of sync. The markets were in sync yesterday pre-market, but then they were not. Okay. So yesterday I talked about this pre-market yesterday, right? This level. Well, that level got smoked, and then we dropped, right? And then there's a gap here that we filled a little bit, but this gap doesn't count as fill until the real-time trading hours. Okay. So let's talk about the overnight. So we have overnight high here, overnight low here. Okay, we're in the lower third of yesterday's session. Okay, we have some single prints all up here. So we opened, tested up higher, and drove all the way down, right? And then we made volume down here yesterday. So we are inside the weakness of the lower third of yesterday's session. Okay, there's the low. Here's the high of yesterday. Right? Price is here. All right, we're right at the midpoint of the overnight session. So this session is very balanced. Doesn't give you a lot. Okay? But now that I'm talking about the rotations of the sectors, right? I like the short trade in the Nasdaq. It's a simpler setup. It's a simpler setup. So let's go over that. So let's go. We're gonna go over now. Talk about the NQ trade plan. All right. Let's go over that NQ trade plan. Well, I'm liking those graphics, baby. I'm liking them. And so let's talk about it. All right. So we have a big supply zone right here. Very obvious. Okay. Very obvious. And the settlement was right in here of yesterday. Okay. So this very simple in the Nasdaq. You have most trader price here of yesterday. Okay, and you have a supply zone. So let's talk about the bearish scenario here. Okay, we could definitely open up, come right into this supply in yesterday's close, and this is the test here, right here. Can you break out of this supply? Even if you broke out it and came down and made some lower highs, that's some weakness, right? And you'd have to see, is ES going to be have healthcare weak, have utilities weak, have financials weak, right? That would, if the markets are in sync weak, then you can get a nice short. Target yesterday's most traded price. That's 9 EMA daily twos right there. Go for yesterday's low and fill the gap. Okay, and you got an overnight low that even went lower. All right, you have a demand zone down here, and that demand zone starts at around 129.65. Okay, now conversely, the long, right? We know the 9 EMA daily is right here. Okay, so very simply, we could even do a couple things in the Nasdaq. We could come down and get weak, come into this demand and pop right out of it, right? Make some lower highs. You could obviously get long here. If we got weak, target most traded price, 9 EMA daily. Then see if we can make a move higher, right? That's one, right? But we also could open, and this is also be a good scenario, that you could also open, break the most traded price, come into supply, hold over the most traded price of yesterday, break the supply zone, come back, keep holding it, but then you see the market firming up. That could be a big move. Okay, you can go to yesterday's high, and this key support that was broken yesterday, 131.62, could be a nice target, because you're just gonna take out all the shorts. So this supply zone and this most traded price of yesterday is key. And again, once the market opens, you have to see, what transpires. All right. So this will help me. We have our plan. All right, we have our plan now. What else here? We can look real quickly at the hourly chart. I threw up some fibs just to check them out. I'm gonna hit you with the watch list real quick, just to when I set this up. I'm gonna set this up for you guys. Let's go over to that. All right. So this is the ES. Let's just look at this real quick, because candlesticks sometimes have people understand the trade plan. Whoa, we're getting some selling right now. Wow. Okay. However, now I put a fib on from this high down to this low, right? So, and overhead supply zone, right? Here's our most traded price of the week, right here, and of yesterday. So we're coming under it now. Now, before this wasn't here. We could obviously bounce right out of this demand too, and hold it and hold it and hold it. And then you could possibly get a long up here and then just take profit here to see what the market's doing. Okay, but this is 50% fib is right here at 41.35. But you just have all this overhead supply here that's going to be tough sledding in the ES. Okay, in the ES. Okay, and we can go over the Nasdaq. Nasdaq's weaker, right? So we have a high, and we have a nice trend line. Okay, highs up here, 50% fib, right? Now that Fibonacci lines up with that previous support that was broken. Right here, it's the 50% Fibonacci retracement, right? But you see here, the Nasdaq has an easier time to get long with. Doesn't have. So this is selling off right now a little bit. Okay. Have to see what actually happens, and there's the gap. All right. So there's weakness now. So here's that most traded price of the week, and that's still the barometer for me. The market comes back in here. You got a trend line with you, some confluence. Like I said, you look for weakness. You can short. All right. But the key is for the long is if you can get in. There's a demand right here. If you can get in here and then start creeping up here, holding, breaking the supply. See, and look at all these shorts in here. That's a nice target right here to the 50% Fibonacci of the like 131.66, 131.60. Okay. So much cleaner long once you get out of this, but it's not going to be easy. So that's it for me today. So as always, I hope everybody understood what I was saying today. Hopefully it was pretty clear of the plan. Things change all the time, right? We're getting some selling right now, and you can never know when the plan or not is going to work. But as always, please give me a like. Okay. Please share, please, with your other trading friends. So I can get more subscribers. All right. I want to grow this channel, so help me out. I hope to keep improving the channel, right? Maybe even starting a community down the road, but it's just I'm starting to build that, right? So everybody have a good weekend. Tomorrow's Good Friday. The market's closed. So today I'm not even sure after 1 p.m., 12 o'clock. I don't know how much volume will be there. I don't know if it'll fall off a cliff because you're going to have a 3-day weekend. All right. So happy Easter. Happy Easter to you, Kobe. So everyone have a happy Easter. And stay green. Good luck. And I'll see you guys on Monday. If not, I'll do an update today with a video of what I see. Okay? I don't know if everybody saw it, but I had a nice meta short yesterday. I did a short on it. I posted it on my Twitter. It's on my channel. I don't know if anybody got a chance to see it. But hope to have a trade like that today. So everybody have a good weekend, a good holiday.